Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent on Live 105.3. Getting set for the Bombardier Lear Jet 550. You'll hear the entire race on Live 105.3. As we kick this thing off from the infield, Ryan Hunter-Reay, IndyCar Series pilot, who has not been upside down in IndyCar.
Thank goodness.
And we don't plan on that happening.
No, we don't.
But you and I were talking in the pit lane yesterday afternoon during qualifying. I brought up, does this track scare you a little bit? He says, really not the track. It's just that wind coming out turns 1 and 2. Why?
Yeah, these cars are already knife edge. You know, they really rely on that air that you put on the wings, and when you mess with that, it becomes an issue. I mean, at Indy, even if it was gusting at 15 miles an hour, it was an issue. Here we have like gusts of 40, and it's not a good day to fly lightweight aircraft. So it ends up moving around, and you got to catch it a bit. But the banking, because of the banking so steep, you know, that helps a bit. So.
With you guys going around and around, and the centrifugal force eventually starts to push you guys kind of into the track as you guys are going around in a big pack. Do you even feel the wind, or are you always feeling the wind?
No, you're always feeling it.
You really are?
Yeah. You know, when we run in traffic, these cars are more susceptible to dirty air than a NASCAR is. That's one thing to look for when the cars run, you know, in these big packs. You'll always see them. They can run nose to tail. When they go into the corner, though, guys will be searching to get their right front wing in air, clean air, or their left front wing in clean air. We'll always be looking for a little bit of clean air, because these things, you know, you come into the corner producing, let's say, for argument's sake, 2,000 pounds of downforce. Well, if you get up right under a car, you all of a sudden you suck 700 pounds of downforce off the wing. So it'll move around a lot. The cars will be jumping around. And the other big thing is the spark show that they have here. Obviously, you know, when we're heavy on a full tank of fuel, and the car's bottoming on the bumps around here. This place is pretty bumpy. So
is that ever distracting? We love to see it as fans, but is that ever distracting to you?
Oh yeah, I mean it's real bright, and it comes and it spreads across the top of your so it messes with your vision a little bit for a second, but that's about it.
IndyCar Series pilot Ryan Hunter-Reay joins Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent on Live 105.3, your official Texas Motor Speedway station. We're talking about drafting with certain cars. And there are certain drivers out there that I know Ryan Hunter, and I'm not going to ask you to name names, certain drivers that Ryan Hunter-Reay does not want to draft behind.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Tell me in the entire Live 105.3 Nation why you don't want to get behind certain drivers.
Well, there's some squirrels out there. You know when you see that like Toyota Celica on the freeway jumping like 4 lanes,
right?
You know, you might as well just not get up right on his rear end, because he's going to do something squirrely.
Notice he said his rear end when we have 2 girls in the series tonight.
Do we have oh, yeah, yeah.
You better stop right there.
Yeah.
Kenny!
What?
One of them's faster than the other,
I understand.
bar none.
Mm-hmm.
So go ahead and explain a little further. Is it because the rear end of that car is moving around so much, or you just don't trust the driver?
Well, the guy, you know, if oval racing has a lot to do with respect and respecting lane integrity, and not, you know, when you enter the corner low, you got to stay low. And because if your car has some handling issue, you can't just keep your foot flat in the power and jump up a lane and a half on the exit, or else you'll just go right into somebody. With how our, you know, it's similar in NASCAR. They have their mirrors are a bit better than ours, but you can't see to any side. You can only see about where my hands are, which is, you know, it's pretty straight in front of you. But other than that, you can't see anything next to you. So you don't even know when a car is completely right up alongside of you. It's all up to the spotter telling you, and you have to respect that lane. If you come out of the corner and you cut down across that, I mean, you can create, you know, a 10-car pileup or whatever, and you see how Franchitti went flying last year. So it's and there's some guys that are just a little bit too much still road course mentality, where it's, you know, run 10 tenths no matter how your car's handling. You're going to eat up racetrack. You're going to block. In oval racing, you can't do all that. We're going too fast, and the cars are too dangerous to do that. In NASCAR, you can bump and you can rub and do all that stuff, and it requires a little bit more finesse.
Because of IndyCar and Champ Car coming together at the beginning of this season and everybody reunifying, do you think it's going to take us till the end of the season for some of these guys to really figure out ovals, or do you think most of them have by now?
You know, some of them in Homestead were lost, you know, and some of those guys that were lost there are right on it now and get it. You know, you put a good driver in a car and he's going to get it. If it has 4 wheels, they're going to get it, and a lot of those guys do. There's some still that have to. I think there's a couple guys I would never wish a crash upon anybody. There's a couple guys that need a good oval hit to
I've always heard that.
Yeah, to understand. Well, you know.
You don't want them to get hurt, but they kind of
like
need
a little kid that's sitting there in the corner just running his mouth, and somebody pops him in the nose, and he's over there just shaking his head yes. He's like, yep.
Same
That's
with
a great
football
example.
players.
Yeah.
Football players, they just need to get their pants dirty to really learn what it's about.
Yeah. And I would never wish that hit upon anybody. I've had everybody's going to have one. You're going to have them. and it's just a matter of time. But it just makes you respect the place a little bit more, that wall is that hard, and you're out here with 28 other cars. 27.
IndyCar Series pilot Ryan Hunter-Reay joins Crash Gladys, Kenny Sargent on Live 105.3. Coming up, we're going to hear from Robbie Knievel just before he jumps 21 Hummers here at Texas Motor Speedway.
Thanks to the wind, it was going to be 25. Now it's 21.
Chip Ganassi is going to be in here. Michael Andretti is going to be in here. Bobby Ray, excuse me. Jeez. I knew I was going to say Bobby Rahal. Graham Rahal and Justin Wilson will be joining us here with Crash Gladys and Kenny Sargent. Ryan, before you do get out of here, you talk about some of the cats that you just don't enjoy being on an oval or a road course with. You can name names here when I ask who's 2 or 3 drivers you do enjoy running with.
Well, there's guys that obviously guys like Scott Dixon and you know, I mean, there's quite a few of them that I would run up against next to anytime. TK, Darren Manning. I mean, there's a bunch of them up there. There's even some at the front that are sometimes even a little sketchy. But I would run next to.
Well, I thought Scott Sharp left actually.
Yeah. Yes.
Kidding.
He was a sketcher for sure. I mean, Scott was definitely sketchy at times.
Oh yes.
But you know, there's guys you know and guys you don't, and you can run inches apart from guys you know, and guys like that are Scott Dixon, Tony Kanaan, Servia, some of these guys. You know, they're predictable.
You like running with Danica?
Danica's one. I've never had a problem with her.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've raced go-karts against her since I was little, or with her since I was little, and never had any issues with her. She ran me a little high in Homestead on the last lap when I was getting by her, but we had to talk about that, and it was fine. But I've never really had an issue with her at all.
Do drivers pull each other aside and go in a corner where no one can hear what they're saying and do that? Talk to each other?
Not always with the in the corner, but yeah, you definitely do. You know, you have to get your issues across. We race the next weekend. You can't go out with a huge grudge. You know, with these cars doing 240, you got to get it all straightened out. So.
And that just adds to the respect that you guys build with each other.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's we're racing every weekend against each other, and these cars, like anything, you can't, like I've been saying, you can't touch.
Yeah.
You know, in NASCAR,
they were saying
I
that in
don't
the
think
drivers'
it's
meeting, right?
Quite as crucial. Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's big. You touch one of these cars doing 220, and somebody's going to go flying, and then, you know, hopefully it doesn't go up over the fence. So.
None of that today.
None of that today.
It ain't going to happen.
Nothing but fun and clean racing.
Ryan Hunter-Reay. Where are you on the grid?
I like that. You said that name real slow.
Dude, I'm from Texas. I've got to slow it down. I sound like I'm from
10th.
Lufkin. That's an East Coast. East Coast in East Texas town.
I was born in Dallas.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, driving for Team Rahal. Now we got a Dallas driver, Ryan Hunter-Reay. Cheer for this man.
No, not long. It was quick.
Where in Dallas?
Not long for me to rent an apartment anyway.
Nice.
Yeah.
Where are you in the grid tonight?
10th.
All right. 10th spot. Ryan Hunter-Reay, Crash Gladys, and Kenny Sargent on Live 105.3.
The ethanol car.
Thank you for having me on. Always good. Always great to be on with you guys. So
plug your website real quick.
RyanRacing.com.
RyanRacing.com.
Yep, pretty easy.
That's hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Rahal.com, right?
Yeah.
There we go.
Nice. Good luck to you.
Thanks a lot.
Ryan Hunter-Reay, IndyCar Series pilot, Crash Gladys and Kenny Sargent on Live 105.3.